Wilson Morales from Black from TV. Hello, folks. How's it going?
You're Wilson. How are you?
Hey,
Good. LaShawn, it's good seeing you again.
yeah, yeah,
You
just
know,
last week.
Me?
Yeah.
small
Another
world.
version. Yeah.
So here we are. Obviously, from what I've watched, I've enjoyed the series. It's totally different from when anybody's read the book or anybody who's seen the film. What led you to take on these roles, Eddie?
What led me to take on the role? I read the first three scripts and I had been a huge admirer of the film and the book. But what I read was something that retained the kind of core DNA of those pieces, but felt completely modern and fresh. And what I love was the idea of this assassin who's basically an actor who speaks different languages, who makes himself appear completely different, both physically and kind of internally, I suppose. And that felt like the idea of an actor playing an actor who's also an assassin felt kind of compelling.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah. What compelled you, Lashana?
the same thing actually.
What
No, I mean, I did read the first three, or I was presented the first three episodes, and I was almost looking for a reason not to like it, because I was like, I've been in the MI6 world before, and I don't like to repeat myself twice, and I just was like, oh gosh, is this going to be No Time to Die 2? Or and I read the first three episodes and thought, wow, it's so refreshing to see this woman in her own right be balancing everything that we see women in the workplace balance, be as annoying and obsessive and strange as she is, but also to be a real life human being, and also someone who's complex enough for you to question if she even knows who she is, or if she is playing her own part in a way, if she's acting in herself, both at work and in her home life. And all of those things let me know that this was about to be, for her narrative at least, a show about just how those complexities leave like a real trail behind you. And I like the mess. I
Mm.
like reading the mess. I like watching it as a consumer, and I think that it just keeps it keeps TV like this really pushing the needle forward and driving it into a completely different direction. And with who else was attached, Eddie, for example. Eddie was attached. I thought, wow, that's
You know,
nice. I just had really good feelings about it.
yeah, and that's the beauty. Like, this is not just simply a cat and mouse type of series. Because it's layered out through episodes. We get to see the emotional aspect that this cat and mouse game is have. The toll it's taking on each person. So how did you want to make it your own outside of what the script called for?
I think we wanted to really ground it in that, in the humanity of it. And one of the things that I find interesting is normally when I play a character, I kind of reach out to that character. And yet what was compelling about what had been written here was characters that felt like, how would I behave if I was an assassin, if that was me? Because to all intents and purposes, this character has many qualities that I share. I think Lashana, you felt similarly in the place of like living in streets away from from where these characters are from. And
Mm.
so I found that kind of the messiness of that, but also the deep humanity pushed the characters away from being stock stereotypes in a genre that is frequently filled with stereotypes.
Yes, they're please.
No, I was gonna say were you gonna add anything, LaShawn?
And there is a comfort in being able to recognize things about the character, whether it's their upbringing or certain characteristics that you also share, that help you as an actor question your moral compass.
Mhm.
And like the first few pages, you could say, oh, I'm quite similar to Bianca, and I feel like there's a lot of women that will watch this show and feel like, yes, that's exactly what I'd do if I was in her position. And then she starts to make quite messy, dangerous choices that um, steer you away from rooting for her. And actually, in turn, you then question if I should be rooting for the Jackal. But really, that's like not the moral thing to do either. So I I found that how much they aligned in character as a character, but also in their private lives. I think they work quite similarly. But I love that they don't know that about each other, and that they have to go on this journey for her to find this fascination in him in order to want to take him down, but also want to nitpick at his process, because there's a beauty in that process. And I think that,
respect,
and such a high respect, which was unexpected for me in the script. But I love that you show this woman respecting this man's process, even though she morally can't stand by it. But
and vice versa.
And vice versa, yeah.
So I enjoyed the series. I'm looking forward to seeing how many costumes and disguises Eddie has and throughout the whole run, where it goes. And I want to see, how often, you're going to pull up your gun, because you just mentioned earlier, you've done a couple of MI6, so you're getting good at the gun aspect at this point right now. So let's see where it ends. Let's see how it plays out. Congrats on both of you. We'll talk down the road.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.